I'm Demie, aka Demie the Destroyer. I'm a rapping ballerina, cat mom. I no longer dance ballet, but I did dance ballet for 13 years. Ballet was kind of weirdly like my introduction into music because, you know, dance and music, they go hand in hand. And so when I was training to be a ballet dancer, I just really fell in love with the expression of music as well. And I decided to move more towards that side instead of dance. And that's really how I kind of like got started with the music thing.
So speaking of music, how would you describe the music that you typically create?
For me, my songs are kind of like my diary. So you know how people keep journals? I write songs and it's really just things about my life. So my music is very, I would say it's like a diary that everyone can listen to or read.
We live in young, we live in young, we live in young, we live in young. Up so high, feet don't touch the ground. We live in young, we live in young.
For people who have to discover your craft or your genre, what track would you recommend for them?
So there's this song, it's not out yet, but it's gonna be on my first EP. It's called Wake Up. That song was kind of like the first song that I kind of blended my singer-songwriting part of myself and like my rap together. So it's very different from the other tracks in the song. And it's also produced by Holly, who produced Sage.
Speaking of your tracks, you had a very successful US debut, right? Which is your track Young. Can you walk us through with your writing process for your tracks, including your upcoming release, which is your recent release, Sage?
So Young and Sage were written very differently because obviously they're very different songs.
Yeah.
Young, I wrote like in my bedroom because I keep my music like a journal. I feel most comfortable writing them in my bedroom. And I kind of just wrote it during a time when I was having a mental breakdown, like right about when I was about to graduate college and I didn't know what I was going to do after. It was just like a quarter-life crisis, I would say, personified. But for Sage, when I heard the beat, it was like that beat was so hard and I knew my shy and awkward personality wasn't gonna do well on it. So I created like an alter ego, which is Demie the Destroyer. Demie the Destroyer kind of wrote that song, if that makes sense.
Speaking of Young and Sage, I can't help but notice the sudden shift in mood from mellow to upbeat. So can you tell us?
Yeah, like I said, Young was a very personal song. It was me, it was Demie writing that song. So it was just me, a very shy, timid person, naturally. That kind of music comes naturally to me. But Sage, I had to create a character, which was Demie the Destroyer, because I wanted to go for that kind of hard-hitting rap. And my personality isn't a hard-hitting rapper, but I created Demie the Destroyer to be that hard-hitting rapper for that track specifically.
I really appreciate the difference, you know, between Young and Sage. And looking at you right now, it's like you have a different personality when you sing Sage and Young, because it's like a strong personality. And speaking to you right now, you've given us a sweet personality. Why do you choose to give us the Demie Destroyer entitlement?
I guess it's my way of creatively expressing myself. I feel like in all art forms, for example, when you put on makeup, you're trying to portray a certain persona. And for me, music is that way too. I have a lot to say, even though I'm very timid and shy, and I find it hard to say it as myself. So I create another person, basically.
So in a way, can you say that music is your outlet?
Yes, for sure, music is my outlet. If I didn't write music, I think I would probably go crazy. Yeah.
As you said a while ago, you have a Wake Up EP, right? But how about your upcoming EP, which is Airplane Mode? Can you tell us what people should expect from that EP?
Well, Airplane Mode was an EP that's a long time in the making. So there are songs from there that I've written when I was like 16 or 17. It's kind of like an album inspired by my travels, physically, like to different countries, and also as my growth as a person. There's some songs on there that are like, that I've written that I no longer feel that way. And then the album continues to go through like growing up and more relevant songs like Young and Sage.
Lastly, we know that your music is totally gaining a lot of attention here in the Philippines. Do you have any message to your Filipino fans?
I think that it's so cool that people from the Philippines are listening to my song, and I'm like talking to people from the Philippines right now. I would never have expected something like this, and I'm so appreciative and thankful that you guys are following me, and hopefully I can maybe do a show in the Philippines someday.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. See you soon. We hope to see you live here performing in the Philippines.
Yeah, I would so love to do that, really.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.